Om Brahmanandam Paramasugam Kevalam Jnanamurtyam Dvandvatitam Gaganasadarsham Tattvamasyaadilaksham Ekam Nityam Vimalamachalam Sarvadi Sakshibhutam Bhavatītam Trigunarahitam Sadgurum Tam Namami. Now, you have two options for this 1 hour. One is, do I teach something? Or two, do you want to ask questions? Now, I know why I asked is, when I go to pee, some people follow and ask questions. But seriously, when I'm having tea, there are people ask, one question, one minute. So if you need to ask questions, it is better to ask when everyone is around. So other people may also get something out of your question, right? If it is a question regarding my husband is not talking to me, I can't sort it out. But if it is other questions, it is good to ask when. So we have an hour, so do you want me right now to teach something, or do you want to ask questions? In the evening, it's compulsory to ask questions. There's a lot of questions in my pocket. Okay, so evening we are going to ask questions. Half of the time in the evening, we'll do one more round of meditation. Because there were some young people asking, Sir, mate lam parnilla. So please remember the sound lam, vam, bram, yam, hum, om. Huh? So you light those bulbs. So golden yellow, moon, fire red, sky blue, purple, white, and many colors. Now let me tell you, these are all visualizations done for a certain purpose. Don't get stuck to it. Mainly to activate the energy. After that, when the mind is settled, you don't need any lotus, any color, nothing is required. Okay? Now when the mind is settling down quietly and everything is fine, that color is not coming, leave it. These are manufactured by the mind, and when you reach that which is beyond the mind, they don't remain anymore. Keep this clear in mind. Otherwise, people will say that white lotus was all right. Then when I got onto the plane, it went off. What am I supposed to do? It's all in your mind. Okay. So, this is Badrinath. So here, many years ago, lived a great teacher. I know you want to hear about Babaji, a great teacher who was the teacher of Adi Shankara. Adi Shankara, who wrote all the commentaries on the Vedas and the Gita and the Brahma Sutras and so on. His guru was Gaudapada. Govindapada's guru was Gaudapada. Gaudapada, while living in Badrinath, wrote this beautiful text, which is a commentary on an ancient Upanishad called the Mandukya Upanishad. Mandukya Upanishad is one of the ancient Upanishads, the principal Upanishads, and it has only 12 verses. Should I do that, or should we do the Keno Upanishad? Purushottam Ananda. Yes, I did. There are only 20 verses. Iti guhyatamam shastram, finished. So, the Mandukya Upanishad deals not with chakras or yantras or bindu or kundalini, nothing. It deals with the different states of consciousness which are common to all human beings. Actually, the karika of the 12 verses runs into 1000 pages. But all that is written in the Mandukya can be summed up as an understanding of the 3 stages of consciousness of all human beings, and the 4th, which is called Turiya, which cannot be defined. Now, you all know the usual definition of Om. Om as A, U and Im. The usual definition is A is for creation, U is for preservation, and is for destruction. So, symbolically, Brahma, Vishnu, Maheshwara. Although that destruction is not as meant by Om, the Ma, it means transformation. Because if the old doesn't go, the new cannot come. Although we never allow our mind to do that. We're always stuck with the old. The most common manifestation of symptom of this disease of not allowing the past to leave, to hang on to it, is photography. Actually, nothing stops. Everything is in motion. But we want to freeze a moment. Photography is only a manifestation of how our mind works, actually. It likes to freeze moments which are dear to us. If it's painful, then we are in trouble. So, the M in Om, while it represents Maheshwara, which means a destroyer, Rudra, it means unless the old goes, there is no space for the new. If today, in 10 minutes, we can sit and say, everything that I carried in my mind, I dump. I'll see things as they are now. The beginning of freedom. But we can't do that. It's very difficult. We are asking, is this destiny? Is this karma? It doesn't matter what. You are living your life here, right? How do we handle it? That is more important than whether it is because of karma or is it because of destiny. Who knows? These are all words. Can we deal with life as we are? Okay, so leave that. You might think I'm talking Krishnamurti, so let's leave it. So, the Mandukya Upanishad. Now, the Mandukya Upanishad defines Om as not as Brahma, Vishnu, Maheshwara's creation, preservation and destruction, but the Mandukya Upanishad describes the sound of A in Om as the waking state of consciousness, Jagrata Avastha. I hope we all know what waking state of consciousness is. Are we all awake? So, the waking state of consciousness is common knowledge. We all know what it is. Although, I think we are not fully awake most of the time. If your eyes are open and you're thinking about something else, you're only half awake. It doesn't matter. So, waking state of consciousness is a. Then we also have another common state of consciousness which is common to all human beings. Dream. Swapna avastha. U represents the dreaming state. The dream state is also called Tejasa. That means illumined. Because even though you dream with your eyes closed, you see the dreams in clear light, without any artificial lighting necessary. So it's called Tejas, self-lit. Now, dream state also we know. We know the waking state, I hope, and we know the dream state. There are two kinds of dream states, night dream and day dream. This also we know. Right? Daydreaming, night dreaming. And this dream state, which is U of Om, is a very, very interesting state because it demonstrates the relativity of consciousness. When you go to sleep, you may be going to sleep in your house in New Zealand. But in your dream, you are in Badrinath, let's say. Lucky if you are, but you're in Badrinath. Now, when you are dreaming that you are in Badrinath, don't you fully believe that you are in Badrinath? When you are dreaming, not when you wake up. You see the mountains. If you have not seen them once, you will project them from the pictures you have seen or from your subconscious. And you are actually there. So only when you wake up into so-called waking state that we say, oh, that was a dream. I dreamt I was in Badrinath. But while you are dreaming, the dream Ravalji is a real Ravalji. Right? If a tiger chases you in the dream, you're running for your life. You won't say, oh, it's a dream. No, you're running for your life. When you wake up, no tiger, this was a dream. But it was so real, your heart is still palpitating. You're still perspiring. So the ancients had a very serious question. They said, this is the short dream from you wake up. And you said, oh, it's a dream. But when you were dreaming, it was not a dream. So they say, what is the proof that now you're not dreaming? Because if we tell you you're dreaming, you'll say, no, I'm not dreaming. In the dream, you will not believe it, right? What if one day I stretch my hands and say, what a long dream. Who knows? Now, when somebody touches the reality, the absolute reality, wakes up from this dream, long drawn dream. There's a difference between the normal dream and this dream. Normal dream, even if Rani dreams that she is M, when she wakes up she knows she is Rani. And the next night she dreams that she is somebody else, but when she wakes up, so there is a continuity. The dream is discontinuous, while this dream, if you want to call it, is continuous. We are saying that this is also not continuous. It appears continuous because we live in time which is relative. If you break through, then you heave a sign of relief and say, my God, what a dream, and you wake up. So this is the dream state. Then, The other common experience we have as human beings is the deep sleep where there is not even a dream. It happens to everybody for a short while. The complete sleep. There, you are not aware if you exist. You are not aware that the world exists. You are aware of nothing. There is no inner recognition, cognition. There is no outer cognition. There is not even the awareness of the witness who recognizes. Nothing. And yet, when you wake up, something remembers what happened and you say, oh, that was a blissful sleep. But whoever experiences a blissful sleep is not aware of it during that time. But when you wake up, when you're between sleep and waking, there is an awareness, that was really beautiful. So when they say bhur, bhuvaswa, actually bhuloka is the waking state. Bhuvaloka is the dream state. And what is swa? Swargaloka, deep sleep. We are in Swarga. Why? Because there is nothing. Because of that, we are able to carry on with our life. Imagine a life without sleep. In sleep you are rejuvenated. Why? Because you don't know who you are at the moment. The moment I know who I am, I have all my problems. Oh, they are going to ask me questions. Oh, I am M. I should behave like this. I shouldn't behave like... You see, I am not like that, I am just saying. The moment there is this identity, then there is all these things around. In sleep, everything has disappeared, so you're free. But finally, unfortunately, you can't sleep forever. So now the question I'm looking into is, what if in the deep sleep of Swarga, there is no dream, there is no waking, this beautiful sleep, which we, after we wake up, say, oh, how nice it was. What if there is a state in which during the deep sleep there is a witness watching calmly? Now that witness can't be this fellow with his wife and children and this and that. No, it can't be. Somebody, some witness, which is pure witness. Suppose it's watching and being aware while you are still in deep sleep. Suppose. You can't imagine it. And you can't reach it through sleep. Just for thinking. Suppose there was. That is called Turiya, which is beyond waking, dream and deep sleep, and yet is the witness who is watching when you are awake, is the witness when you are watching when you are dreaming, and becomes various things, and the witness which you are not aware of but existed during deep sleep. If that witness is found, that is called Turiya, when it is found. Now that has to be the basis of this whole thing. Because it is the witness for all these states. Without it, none of these states exist. So, the Mandukya Upanishad therefore describes A as the waking, U as the dream, and Ma as the deep sleep. Now, when you chant Om, it doesn't stop with Om. Om. In the top there is a Chandrakala and a dot which is called Ardhamatra, unstuck sound. And the sound is just vibrating and ending. That is symbolized, is the symbol of Turiya. Now therefore, when one understands this identity, which is a witness to all these three states, but is not actually involved in it, then one is free. When one has understood the meaning of Turiya, then that person then becomes beyond Turiya. So it's called Turiya Atita. Because even in Turiya, there is some little ID watching. In Turiya Atita, that ID also disappears. It's like looking from all sides and looking from here around. I don't know how to say this. Now, if that is experienced, then waking state, dream state, deep sleep, everything becomes different. Even while one is involved in this long dream called the waking state, somewhere the other thing is intact, watching. I may meet somebody and say, "Oh, hello, how nice to see you," and hug the person. I know that nobody is hugging anybody. And in dream, for a person who has touched Turiya, there is actually no such kind of dream. It is all one continuous stretch from waking to dream to deep sleep. There is no break. Because only the witness is seen. If you think that is going to be boring, it's not. Somebody told me, if there is always happiness and no sorrow, what is the point? I mean, so boring. It's not like that. This is something that happens every minute, not something that you imagine and store in your brain and think about it. No, that can get boring. This is something that happens at every instance. It can't be produced. It can't be manufactured. When all manufacturing and producing ceases completely, then it is. And that is the description given in the mantra which I recited before we started this session. Brahmanandam. The supreme happiness of Brahman. Paramasukadam. Kevalam Jnanamurtim. The only thing is that it is knowledge, real knowledge, wisdom. Dvandvatītam. It has no opposites. All our lives have opposites. There is night, there is day. There is darkness, there is light. There is sorrow, there is happiness. This is our life, duality. Dvandvatītam, there is no duality. There are no opposites. In its original state of no division whatsoever. Gagana sadarsham, like the open sky. Tattvamasya laksham. It has only one aim, is having figured out that is not different from this. Purnamada, Purnamidam, we discussed. You see, what we try to do normally is to solve each problem little as it comes. This is the final solution. These little problems can never be solved. If one goes, the other will come. I might solve one problem, then the other one will come. But here, there is no problem to be solved because there is nothing to solve. And it's also described as ekam. There is only one. Alone. Kaivalya. Now, alone actually is all one. In the Yoga Shastras, the word used instead of moksha is Kaivalya. Kaivalya comes from the root word Kevalam, only. Kevalam Jnanamut, Kevalam, only. There is no two, there is just one. ekam, nityam. The only thing that remains when everything else is gone. Vimalam, no mala, no impurity whatsoever, no agitation whatsoever, no waves, a silent pond without ripples. When the pond is silent without ripples, you can see your real face out there. And then you figure out that you're not different from the pond. Sarvati Sakshi Bhutam, witness to everything, but not involved in it. Bhavatitam, beyond all emotional disturbances, including good, bad emotions, all gone. Triguna Rahitam, Sattva, Rajas and Tamas don't exist. We discussed Sattva, Rajas and Tamas, right? So there is from Tamas to Sattva, from Tamas to Rajas, from Rajas to Sattva, which means when the mind is completely free and relaxed and totally pure as in Sattva, then that mind itself ceases to exist. What remains is only the essence, and that is Triguna Rahitam, it has no gunas. Then I said, I bow down to that Supreme Guru. Who is this? So who is the Supreme Guru? That Supreme Being which is beyond everything, which fortunately for us is also our true essence. So we are going to ourselves. That Supreme Guru is also in the Yoga Shastras referred to as Ishvara. So, when the Yoga Shastra says Ishvara Pranidhanena, it means to that Supreme Being who is free of everything. To Him I bow down. Or to it I bow down. Because in that state it cannot be him or her, it can only be it. So this, in a nutshell, is the teaching of the Mandukya Upanishad. Now what is that to us? To us it means that when our minds can, all the sadhana that we do is to awaken this awareness ultimately. Not to get stuck on the way and think that this is real. There is a path, of course, there is a way. Way is to make the mind subtler and subtler and subtler. Raise it to higher levels of awareness until you come to the ultimate awareness, which cannot be described in words and which is, happily, it's also part of us. We are that. And that is the source of all the energy in this universe. And when we get a little bit of that energy, we become, I have this. It comes from there. It comes from there. So, in the Keno Upanishad, after a very deep philosophical discussion, in the end there is a beautiful story. The description starts just like the Mandukya with who is it that is the real conscious being. Keno means who. And then finally, now this is Shruti, this is the Upanishad. In the last part of the first few syllables, it says, Manasa namanyute yana hurmano matam tadaiva brahmatvam vidvi nedam yaddidam upasat. It's a very sweeping statement. It's saying that which even the mind cannot reach, but because of which the mind has its capacity to be aware. No, that alone is the supreme truth. Nedam yaddidam upasat. Nothing that you worship here. including our own egos. Having talked about such a philosophical concept, which is even so impossible to grasp by the ordinary mind, which only a purified mind can grasp, then it shifts suddenly to a story. Because in stories you can understand this properly. That Supreme Being, who is described as the Brahman, which is absolute, and which luckily is part of us too, decided to test the proud powers, the proud gods, who are the powers of nature. Indra is the lord of the senses. Agni is the lord of all that burns. Vayu is the wind that blows, all nature's powers, mighty powers of nature. So the Supreme Being, who is referred to in this Upanishad as the Yaksha, meaning a being which can't be defined. Yaksha appears and wants to test these guys. So there is a small little board meeting between Agni, Indra and Vayu. They say, who is this? What is that thing there, that Yaksha? So Agni says, I'll go first and figure out. Because fire, god of fire, who is praised in the Vedas always, Jata Vedas. So Agni goes close to the Yaksha and asks, who are you? Or what are you? The question is reversed, and that Yaksha asks the fire, who are you? So fire says, I am Jata Vedas, I am Agni, the mighty Agni, I can burn up anything in this world. One little spark and the whole world can be destroyed. I am the god of fire, Agni, who is praised by the rishis and the Vedas. I am that. Okay, you can burn everything, yes. The Yaksha plucks a blade of grass and holds it in front of him and says, burn this. Agni tries all the tricks of his trade. Can't burn the blade of grass. He's very confused. He says, what the hell? He says, who is this guy? Who is this Yaksha? And he comes back. He says, let's set Vayu. He is the powerful cyclone which can uproot trees and destroy the world, even bring floods. So Vayu goes next. Same thing happens. Ask the question. He says, who are you? I am Vayu, the mighty, I can shake. Okay, that's all right. The same blade of grass which could not be burnt. Can you just blow this off? Vayu huffs and puffs and does all the tricks. No way to move the grass even a little bit. So he's completely confused. He thought he was all powerful. He comes back. He says, I don't know who this fellow is. What is this? So Indra says, I am the chief of the gods, the lord of the gods, lord of the senses. Senses means what? Sense organs. Let me go and find out. So he goes. When he goes, he can't see the Yaksha. The Yaksha has disappeared. Because that, the supreme reality, cannot be found through the sense organs. Not by the eye. Chakshusha na pachyati, shrotre na shrunoti, vacha na bhyutitam, cannot be described by words. It's okay. It's all right. Relax. Hello? ঠিক আছে নাকি? Okay. So, So I forgot. Hmm? Oof, there's some cacophony, I can't hear anything. Yeah, okay. So the Lord of the senses went to find and he couldn't find it because it is that which can't be seen, heard, touched, even thought about. He came back. Then they again had a board meeting. What the hell is this now? We need to figure this out. Because he has outdone all of us. And we don't know, no shape, no nothing. Indra says, I can't find him, but he's there. So then suddenly something concrete happens. The Bindu, which Bindu? The Bindu, in the form of Parvati, the daughter of the Himavan, the Himalayas, Bahushobhamanam, very beautiful, suddenly appears. And she says, fools, come here. Huffing, puffing, nothing is going to work. You have these powers, these energies, right? That is the source of all this energy. You think you are the source, that is the source. Without that you are nothing. So understand this. So Indra, Vayu and Agni, understand this from Parvati. And they became greater gods. That is the story. So when we stop huffing, puffing, when we understand that the essence of all our energies, there is only one essence for that. Then there is no ego there because you know that you are nothing, you are nobody, you are zero. When that zero happens, then there is abundance. Everything becomes one. Then if I want to do something, I don't have to put my mind, all your minds work on it. Everybody is one. This is the unity of being which we need to understand. In many cases we need the help of Bindu to open up our minds to. Because suddenly to go from the grossest to the subtlest is difficult. So we need to go from gross to subtle, from subtle to subtle, and finally it's ultimately, remember that at the end of the journey there is this all-pervading reality. And you are not different from it. You are the same. Is that a message of hope? You don't have to depend on anybody, including this fellow sitting here. This is the message I wanted to give. It's 12:10. It's time to go. Now, in the evening, there is a compulsory question-answer session. I can't go on talking. And please ask questions relevant to the subject. Okay? Well, you are also allowed to ask about Babaji. But I know how it is like. I myself am thrilled when I relive my life, but it's okay. But I'm free of Babaji also. But if you are curious, yeah, you should ask. Babaji told me, I'm training you not to become dependent on me. I'm training you to stand on your own feet. I can still hear the words ringing in my ears. So I want every one of you to stand on your own legs. Don't be dependent. If you want to depend on your inner self, which is a spark of the all-pervading supreme reality. क्या हुआ? होलो की? Guru? You don't. You don't. You can treat the Guru as somebody who is showing you something, showing you that you have to stand on your own feet and find your true essence. After that you can forget the Guru. Goli maro. Thank you. Not that you should disrespect, I mean that's not what I mean. But you know what.